Because of these characters, it is widely used. It is widely used. It is big set of characteristics. Got it? Let me read out the listed characteristics. First one is real world entity. The second character is relational based tables, isolation of data and application, less redundancy, consistency, query language, acid properties, multi-user and concurrent access, multiple views, security, and multiple. Okay, multiple views came twice. Okay, so these are the there are 10, what is that, characteristics which makes a database management system, okay, for wide usability. Because of this database management system software is used very widely. Got it? And we're going to discuss one by one in this class. Only we'll have a discussion on only these 10 characteristics. Let me remove this. Multiple views. Yeah. Now fine. Let me save it. Yeah. Now, what is this real world entity characteristic? What is that real world entity characteristic? Real world entity means student is a real world, car is a entity, okay, a employee is an entity. Then what is entity? Okay, see, which is exist in the world, real world, which is exist in the real world is called as a real world entity. See here now, student is there in real world, you are all students. Okay, the entity is a one which is having number of attributes. The entity is a one which is having number of attributes associated to it. So student is a real world entity which has many attributes, like every student will be having the name, every student will be having the phone numbers, university seat numbers, percentage, course, date of birth, etc. These are all associated attributes of student. What is that student? It is an entity. It is of what type of entity? It is a real world entity. Got it? So real world entity mean in the database management system is more realistic and uses a real world entities. See here now, student is not something which we assume, but which is student is a existing thing. Student is existing thing. It is not an assumption. Got it? So it is a realistic and which uses the real world entity to design its architecture. If I want to design a student architecture, then we must have following schema. What is that student schema? Okay, it will be having name, university seat number, roll number, date of birth, course, etc., etc. Got it? So this is by using this its attributes, we are creating an entity of a student. Got it? It is not an assumption. Student is a existing thing in the real world. Example, a school database may use a student as an entity. See here now, if you are creating a database for the schools, colleges, or an university, if you are creating a database for a school, college, or an universities, so what are we going to do? Student is one entity in that. For that database, student is a one entity. There may be other entities also. Library is another entity in the school. Employee is another entity. Got it? Assets is another entity. Student is one entity. See, these are all the entities of the school database, college database, or what is that? University database. Which are the entities? Student, employee, and library. Okay, all these things are entities. There may be other entities also. Okay, what type of entity and what type of attributes we will going to discuss later. But student is also existing thing in the real world. Teacher or an employee is also existing thing in the real world. Okay, library is also existing thing in the real world. Okay, these are not an assumptions which we are creating. Got it? Which already exist in the real world. For that we are creating an architecture. Okay, that's why it is called as a real world entity. Okay, so this is the first characteristics of the database management system. Hope it is clear. If you are not understood, please stop me. Okay. Second one is relation based tables. See here now. Relation itself is a table. Relation in database management system, relation means table. What is that? Relation means table. In the database management system in DBMS or in structured query language. Okay, structured query language. Structured means in the form of the data are kept in the form of table format. The data are kept in the form of table. Got it? What is table? Table is nothing but number of rows and columns. It's a matrix. Table is nothing but a matrix. What is matrix? Which is having number of rows and number of columns. Okay, database management system allows the entities and relations among them to form a table. Means, see here now, as I told, student is a table name or it is an entity. What is that? Student? Student is a table name or an entity. Got it? What are the attributes of the students? Name, university seat number, then college name, course name, okay, then mobile number, date of birth. These are the column headings. These are the columns headings in the table. Okay, all these things are called as what? Attributes. These are called as attribute. So, if you enter the values, student name XYZ, what is the seat, university seat number 123, okay, date of birth so and so, okay, college name AITM, course MCA, okay, date of birth so and so. See, these are the values in that. These are the values. These are called as values. These are the values of one student. These are the values of one student. I'll take one example of you people. Akash. Okay, Akash, which starts from A. Okay, the student name is Akash. Roll number is 1. Okay, date of birth is so and so. Okay, college name AITM, course MCA. Got it? So date of joining is so and so, etc. etc. This is one row. One row means one student information. What is the entity? Entity is a student. Okay, which are the attributes? Name, university seat number, etc. etc. Date of birth. All those things are the what? They are attributes. In the table, we will call it as a column headings. They are called as column headings. These things, what we will call it as, when we enter the values for these column headings, okay, each row will represent one student information. Each row will represent one student information. Got it? So, a user can understand the architecture of a database. User can understand the architecture of a database just by looking at the table names. See here now, let me draw it, okay, so that you can understand. Assume that, so I'm not using. Okay. Student, student is a entity. Okay, here it is. First column is for university seat number. Okay, university seat number, then comes name, then date of birth, then comes date of birth, then what is that, course, then college, then university seat number, name, date of birth, college, course. Then what are the things are there for student database? Which are the attributes? Any other attributes?
Marcus.
Percentage.
Yes, sir. Percentage.
Percentage. Okay. Then
Grade, sir.
grade. Okay. Grade. Then
Pass and fail, sir.
what?
Pass and fail, sir.
Okay.
Result.
Percentage itself, pass, fail, etc. It will come. Okay. See, these are the probably main things which we require: university seat number, name, date of birth, course, college, percentage, grade, etc. Okay. So just by looking at this, you will come to know that which database we are creating. So just by looking at this, you will come to know that it is a, here we need to enter the values for the student, because if assume that there is a one more column, okay, so there is, assume that there is a one more column with a salary, okay, you will get confused, right? So because salary is not associated to student, salary is not a part of the, it is not an attribute of student. Got it? So you will get confused. Got it? When you look at this now, university seat number, name, date of birth, course, date of joining, okay, percentage, grade, the which college you are studying, all these things are a part of what? It is a student. It's a part of the student. By looking at this is called as a schema. This is called as a schema. Okay, in that schema, university seat number, what type of data type, what is the length, what is the constraint, all the things will be there for each and every attribute. Okay, so now see here now, Let me enter. I forgot to bring my writing pad in Belgium itself, so I am troubling a lot. So see here, assume that there are two columns or two rows. This is row 1, this is row 2. Here there is an university seat number of a first student. Here a first name of the student, okay, and date of birth of a student, okay, course in which he is doing and in which college he is studying, and what is the percentage of that student and what grade he has earned, and it could be what is the date of joining, okay, when he has joined to that course. See here now, these all together, okay, these are different values, but it is all together, it is a one student information, only one student information. Similarly, here we are getting what is that, another student information, second student information. These are called as the values. These are called as the values. These are called as a column headings. These are called as column headings. Okay, this is called as an entity name or a table name. This is called as entity name or a table name. Hope it is clear. User can understand the architecture of the database just by looking at the table names. Just by looking at this, you will come to know what is the architecture of that database. Is it clear now? Relational based tables. Understood? Any questions? Students, any doubts? Now, next characteristics of the database management system is isolation of data and application. What is means by isolation? Nowadays, this word is more popular. Isolation. What is the meaning of that? Anybody? Isolation. What is the meaning of isolation? Those who are getting fever and cough, those things, okay, they are isolating, they are getting isolated. They are getting isolated. Isolated means what? What is the meaning of that isolation? Isolation, if they have become isolated, means they will not come in touch with others. They are independent. They are independent. Okay. So here isolation means same thing. Isolation of data and application. Application is a software. Application is a software. It is independent and data is independent. See here now. All your information, as I told, all your information, student information, which is dumped in the database, those are called as a data. Those are called data. Kiran is a data, Sujit is a data, Riya is a data, Sumaya is data. These are various names of the students. These are called as the datas. your first name, last name, your date of birth, your percentage, etc., etc. All these things are related to, these are the datas. These are the data. And application is database management system. It is an application. Got it? So it is a software. Oh, that is also different, and this is also different. They are not related to at any point of time. They don't have any relationship. They are separated. They are, both of them are separated. A database system is entirely different than its data. Entirely different than its data. It is, database management system itself is a different thing, and data is a different thing. Got it? So I am having a database of 100 students. I am having a database of 100 students. What I'll do, I'll take all those 100 student information, I kept it in some database. Okay, same database. Now let me show you. This is a database which is having, this is a database which is having 100 student information. It is a database which is having 100 students information. Okay, here now I am having one software, database management system. Okay, I am having a software or an application which manages the database. Okay, so I am using this application to manage this database. For the same database, I am using this. Okay, this software is used by me. Okay, another software, this is also database management system. It is an application or it is a software. Okay, this is another software, different software which is used by Soumya. Okay, Soumya is using this software to manage this database. She will go to access whatever she want from that 100 students database. I will go to access whatever I want from that 100 students database. Okay, this is another software which is used by Sumaya. Okay, she is using this software for, it is an again different software which is used to access the student information from the same database which is having 100 database. See here now, these are different softwares. Okay, and they are accessing the same database. They are accessing the same database. Means this software, these softwares and the database are separated thing. They are different. They are entirely different than its data. Where is data? Data is there in this database. These are the softwares. Through these softwares, I can access whatever the data I want. Got it? So, hence, database system is entirely different than its data. Now, a database is active entity. See here now, a database is active entity. Which is active? Database is active, but where data is a passive. Data is said to be, data is said to be a passive. Data is said to be passive. Why database is active and why data is passive? So database, it will give you different schemas, different views, whichever you want. Okay, and it will help you whether that particular data which you are searching is there or not. Okay, and it will help you to give the conclusion. Okay, which table you are searching, which you are not searching. Okay, all the things it will give you the information database. What is that data? Data is just an object. It's an value of an object which is dumped in that database. Just it will be there. Whenever I want it, I am going to access it, then I'll use it. It is a passive, just it will be there. It is not a active. Database, it is active because it will give you all the information timely, it will give you all the information. Got it? It will give you the different views. See, 100 student information, like your information only. I am looking at only a percentage. Some staff will look into only what is that? The in which college you are studied. Some staff will go to look at date of birth. Some staff will look at into the names of the student. Some even like me, what I am going to do, I look at only name and percentage and in which course you are doing. I want only these things instead of all the other things. Okay, so that is another view which I can see only. Got it? So all these things can be get it from the database. All the things can be get it from the database. So hence it is an active. So data, it will be there. Whenever you access, you can get it. Otherwise, you don't get it. It will be there. Got it? So active, database is active and data is passive. Okay? Now, database also stores metadata. See here now. Already you know what is metadata. Database management system also stores metadata, which is a data about the data to ease its own process. I hope the BCA students, you know metadata very well. What is metadata? Soumya? Soumya madam?
हाँ सर.
What is metadata?
No sir.
Hmm?
Don't know sir.
You don't know?
Yes.
Ria?
Data about data sir.
Data about data, which is there in the slide. Other than that,
Don't know sir.
don't know. Sumaya?
Finding particular instance, sir.
ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ?
Particular data, sir.
Particular data means okay. Sujit? Kiran?
Sir, metadata means accurate, sir.
Accurate? No. Kiran? Have you heard?
Sir, accurate, sir.
No.
Metadata means.
No. Kiran?
Sub data sir.
What?
Don't know, sir.
Okay. Is that Soumya?
हाँ sir.
ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಏನು?
Sub data sir.
Sub data. Okay.
Or itself sir.
See here now, as Ria told, it is a data about the data. It is a data about the data means in your database, student information you have created the database for the university. In that university database, student database will be there. Okay, and employee database will be there, college database will be there, etc., etc., it will be there. Which are those? College, course, student, employee. These are the 4 entities. Its database you have. Assume that in the student database, you are having, in student schema, you are having the university seat number, name of the student, date of birth of the student, course of the student, and college of the student, and percentage of the student. Okay, and it is what is this? A grade of the student and date of joining of the student. Okay, how many attributes are there? How many attributes are there in that student database? I am asking you, in this student database, how many attributes are there? University seat number is a one attribute, name is another attribute, database
8 sir, 8.
8. Okay, there are 8 attributes. Okay, now this is what you have created in your database. As per this, you have entered all the student information. As per this, you have entered all the student information. Now, whenever you are searching for a particular student, now I am searching for age of the student 1, age of a student who is having the university seat number 1, 2, 3. I am searching for the age of the student who is having the university seat number 1, 2, 3. Is there age is there in that database? Age is there?
No, sir.
No. Okay. See here now. Why I am telling, if it is an university database means student database, there are thousands of students will be there in that database. How many? Thousands of students will be there in that university student database. Okay. You are searching for the student who is having the university seat number 1, 2, 3, and but gender is not there or age is not there. I am looking for the gender. Okay, gender you have not mentioned, age is not mentioned. Okay, then lastly, after searching for all the things, and you will tell that you will search for 100,000 students, you will search for 1,000 students, and you will tell, at last you will going to tell that age is not visible, or age is not existing, or gender is not existing. Instead of going for this, what the metadata will help you, this database will go for, whenever you go for the searching or whenever you want to do anything, it will go for the metadata and it will check in the student schema whether that university seat number and gender and age which you are looking for is there or not. It is there or not in that schema. Only it will going to check for, just a minute, I will take different color. Okay. Now, what is there in that metadata? It will be there only this much. It will be there only this much in that metadata. First, whenever you search, it will go to student database schema. In that, it will go to search for the university seat number which is given, university seat number 1, 2, 3. But it will go to check it for whether that university seat number is there in that student database or not. Yes, it is there. Okay, then it will go to search for what is that, gender and age. Here gender is not there, gender is not there, and age is not there. Then instead of going for the actual database where the data is stored, it will come to the conclusion that that attribute is missing. It will give you that thing. It will give you result instead of going for the thousands searching for the 1,000 students information data. Got it? So this is what a metadata. Metadata means it is a data about the data. Data about the data means, see here now, instead of going for the actual data, we are having the abstract of that. And best example I will tell you, whenever you go for a particular textbook, what you will going to do? You will going to see the index, which chapter you want, whether that chapter is there in that index page or not. If it is there in that index page, what you will going to do? Then only you will go for particular page number, then you will search for it. If that chapter is itself is missing in the index page, then you will not going to search in the entire book. Got it? So metadata is also like an index page of the textbook. It is like an index page of the textbook. If that index page itself is missing, okay, that particular topic is missing, then you will not going to search for an entire book, right? So metadata is like that. Metadata is like that. Is that metadata is understood? Metadata is understood, all of you? Soumya?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about Leena and Reena? Soumya?
Sir.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Less redundancy. Less redundancy. Redundancy means what? Redundancy means duplicate values. Duplicate values. See here now, earlier days when the offline thing exists, okay, when manual systems were there in the universities and all, there are different departments in the universities. Like one is, what is that, examination section, it is another department. CDC, College Development Council, it is another department. And accounts, like what is that, your scholarship and etc., that will be handled by account department, okay, and other departments will be there. See here now, for CDC also student information is required. For examination section also student information is required. Got it? And for the account section, for the scholarship, for the benefit of scholarship and etc., okay, for that also student information is required. They need to have a different system of having the student information. CDC is also having the different style of or different method of having the student information, and exams section is also following some other method for storing the student information. Got it? So assume that there are 10,000 students in the university. All of them, even exam section is also having 10,000 student information in their own style. CDC's department is also having 10,000 students information in their own method, and the exam section is also having 10,000 students information. All of them, they required university seat number, date of birth, whatever the etc., name, okay, in which course you are studying and all those things, in which college, etc. See here now, all of them are having these things. Same student information, only one or two fields may differ, but most of them will be there in the exam section, most of them will be there in the CDC department, and all of them fields will be there in the examination section. So this is called as duplicate values we are having in all the three different sections. When it is a offline mode, or when it is an manual system. If we use a database management system, if your university is using database management system, then you will be having what? Only one student database. Only one student database. In that, whatever all the possible values, attributes will be entered into that. Same student database can be accessed by the examination section. Same student database can be accessed by the CDC department, and same student database can be accessed by the account department. See here now, instead of having 30,000 students, information of 30,000 students, now we are having only 10,000 students information in the student database. Same 10,000 student can be accessed by all the three departments, right? So here less redundancy means there is no redundancy, almost nil we can call it as. Got it? So this is how you can minimize the redundancy. Redundancy means duplicate values. Got it? And when you are having the primary key concept here, there is only one student with a particular seat number, university seat number. See, assume that your university seat number is MCA 0123 something. That university seat number is fixed throughout the lifetime of the university. It is meant for a particular student only. My university seat number when I was studying in MCA, it was 2BA MCA 30. 2BA MCA 30. See, even if I go with that university seat number, I can get all my information in the VTU because it is a unique. It is a unique. If it is not there, then what happens? There may be n number of Vishwesvaraya. There may be n number of Vishwesvaraya. So there we need to struggle. Okay, this Vishwesvaraya, no. Then with this, in which college we are studying? Oh, particular college. Then Vishwesvaraya with a particular college, we need to be search for it. And if there are more number of Vishwesvarayas in the same college, then again year of admission, year of course need to be search for the things. If university seat number is there, then at any point of time you can go and access the information. Got it? This is how you get the less redundancy because of this. Got it? Now, DBMS follows the rules of normalization, which splits a relation when any of its attributes is having redundancy in values. Okay, that we will going to discuss while discussing things. This is in general thing about the less redundancy. Normalization is mathematically rich and specific process that reduces the redundancy. Okay, so later we'll going to see whenever we create the tables, etc. That time we'll going to look into that in detail. Okay, this is what the normalization is, a mathematically rich and specific process. This is what about the redundancy. Now, consistency. Consistency is a state where every relation in a database remains consistent. There exists a method and techniques which can detect attempt of leaving database in consistent state. Means what? See here now, in database, as I told, student will be there, student relation will be there or student database will be there, relation will be there in the database. Course relation also is there in that. Relation means what? Table. Relation means table. Student table is there, course table is there, okay, department table will be there, okay. We are all belonging to computer science. Which department? Computer science department. In that computer science department, which are the various courses which it running? BE CS is there, BE information science is there, MCA is there, MTech in computer science. These are the various courses which is belonging to computer science department. Okay, in student database, student table, we are having student name, student university seat number, date of birth, date of joining, and in which department he belongs to. If that department is missing, then how can you relate the department or a course with the student? Course with the student. So every relation must maintain that consistency. So it is, if you are deleting some information, if you want to delete the department table, then it will going to affect in the student database. See here now, if you want to delete that relation, which relation? Department relation. If you want to delete that, but already one field is there, one attribute is there in that student information, student table. What is that? Department. Okay, what it has to be? First it has to be deleted. Then you can go for deleting of the table. Then only it is, because this is how they are consistent. They are depending on one relation to another relation. So this is based on using foreign keys, we can relate each and every table. That we will going to discuss later while discussing the ER diagrams, etc. Got it? This is what the consistency is. Consistency means, so each and every table, okay, consistency is a state where every relation in a database remains consistent. Consistent means, because if you want to delete this, before in which other table is having the same department, it has to be deleted. Otherwise you will get a difficulty for deleting. Otherwise it will not going to delete itself. If you want to try to delete this, so it will affect the foreign key concept. Got it? It violates the rules of the foreign key. Got it? Now, query language. Query language. Database management system is equipped with query language. Means it is very strong. Okay, it is having the support of the query language. What is that query language? For the database, all the data will be there. Student information will be there, department information will be there, college information will be there, etc., etc. will be there. You have to write the query. I need a information of the student who is having the roll number 1, 2, 3. Okay, who is studying in so and so college. I need his information. So when you write that query, you will get that information only. You will get a particular student information only. If the university wants to access how many students are attempted the examination, so they will go to write the query for the database management system. Okay, for that database. Okay, for this so and so college, how many students remains absent for the examination? How many students got more than 80%? This is how they can access it. Okay, they can write the query and they can get the information. Okay, your query should be very strong. Okay, it will give you bits of information also. You can access bits of information. User can apply as many and as different filtering. Okay, whatever you want, you can access it. Traditionally it was not possible. If you are having the manual system, it is not possible. You need to search one by one, you need to search one by one, one by one, one by one. But if you are having the database management system, you can write the query and get the information in a no time. Within no time you can get the information. Got it? So this is related to query language, so which is supported by, what is that, database management system. Hope these things is clear. So acid properties, multi-user, and these things we will going to discuss in the next class. Okay, acid properties, etc. Thank you. Okay, see you. Bye. Thank you.